It's a KRON 4 News Weekend feature, a Bay Area Web, the next generation. It's where we profile people from the Bay Area who are creating the future of the internet. Well, you've heard, of course, of Craigslist, the website that's transformed the classified ad business. It makes it easier for millions of people to buy, sell, and trade via the internet. San Francisco's Craig Newmark, the man behind the site, now wants to take that same idea to the worlds of politics and diplomacy, as KRON 4's Brian Shields explains.
Craig Newmark loves interacting with people. He spends much of his time in his Hate District home answering questions and helping the people who depend on Craigslist. And while Craig has had more than his fair share of dealing with fanatics, he hopes to use his online experiences to encourage more people to be moderate.
A moderate is just an ordinary person who wants to get on with their lives and live and let live.
Now, if you ran one of the world's most popular websites, you might develop a hobby like hiking or playing golf, but not Craig Newmark. His new pastime is rather unique.
One of my new hobbies is public diplomacy, urged on by someone named Madeline. And again, I mean the diplomat, not the tasty cookies, although they are delicious. But I'm doing things now like getting involved with movements of moderates to help get peace in the Middle East.
Now, we should point out this is Craig's hobby. Craigslist, the entity, he says, is only interested in politics as far as fighting online crime. There is already a Craigslist Jerusalem and a Craigslist Cairo, and in the next batch of cities, they hope to roll out a Craigslist Ramallah. Craig, on his own, is seeking out partnerships to make a real difference on the ground in Israel and Palestine.
I don't know if our community will have any effect like that, but I've been looking into other areas apart from Craigslist, and that's just me talking about Craigslist. I look at a Mideast peace group called One Voice. They've enlisted hundreds of thousands of moderates, equally divided between Palestinians and Israelis, and what they're saying is they want to make a deal. They're not ready to trust the other side yet, but that's changing.
Craig is also working with groups in the United States to make it easier for us all to know what the government is up to.
I work with Sunlight Foundation, which has efforts to allow everyone, including professional and citizen journalists, to help figure out what's going on in Washington. They're working really hard on databases and tools to greatly increase transparency, since we really do need to restore constitutional law and the rule of law.
Craig says other online efforts to open up information to everyone, things like Wikipedia, are also very encouraging.
Another good example of moderates and ordinary people getting a bigger voice on the net is Wikipedia. It used to be that the guys who won the wars got to write what's history. Now with Wikipedia and other tools, everyone has a shot at saying what happened, and that's a much bigger change than we know.
Newmark says history shows it's not the technology that's ultimately important, it's what people have to say.
This will reflect earlier internet-based big social changes, like in 1688, the Glorious Revolution in Britain was largely fomented by the use of blogging, including guys like John Locke. And earlier than that, the internet was invented by this guy Gutenberg, but the technology wasn't used a lot until an early blogger named Martin Luther. He invented the Reformation, which was the killer app of the time. No pun intended, I'm afraid.
To watch my complete conversation with Craig Newmark and to learn how to subscribe to these reports on iTunes and YouTube, go to KRON4.com and click on Bay Area Web, the next generation. In San Francisco, Brian Shields, KRON 4 News.